UFOs aren't fringe anymore. They're in Pentagon reports, on the floor of Congress, and in verified US Navy cockpit videos. In 2004, Navy Commander David Fravor chased a craft the size of a jet fighter, with no wings, no exhaust, that accelerated like nothing on Earth.
White, tic-tac looking object just above the surface of the water, pointing north-south, and it's going north-south, east-west. It's just radically moving forward, back, left, right at will. And it's moving around the disturbance, the white water that we see.
How big is this thing?
So, over time, it's about 40 feet long. And the way I estimate that is, I got a lot of time fighting other airplanes, so it's about the size of a Hornet fuselage. So that's why you say 40 feet. And this thing's just going left. So the first thing you see when you look down, you go, and this is with our eyes, it's not sensors, right? So we're looking down at this thing, and first thing you think is helicopter, right? Helicopters typically stay below 200 feet when we're out there, and they're just driving around. We're pretty far away from the ship for a helicopter for one of ours. So what is it? So the first thing you look for is rotor wash. You know, if you've watched any TV show that starts kicking the water up, and you can see that. It's really easy to see from the air. So we're like, no rotor wash. Matter of fact, don't see any rotors. Don't see any tail rotor. Don't see any, the main rotors. We're like, that's kind of weird. So as we're driving around, we're looking at this thing. We get to about the 9 o'clock position.
How far away are you from this thing?
I'm at 20,000 feet, and it's right down on the surface, right off our right side. So I'm probably maybe a couple miles lateral and 20,000 feet, and we're just watching it move around. And
so it's very small in your eyes.
Not overly small. An airplane down that low, it's 40 feet. You can see pretty well. It was pretty clear. So I'm like, okay. So I said, I'm gonna go check it out. That's what we're trained to do. The other pilot says, hey, I'm gonna stay up here, and I'm like, that's perfect. So now we'll get some separation. We'll get it from different views, and the other airplane will kind of have a God's eye view of everything that's going on.
In 2015, other pilots captured these. The Pentagon confirmed them as genuine, unidentified, unexplained, fast.
We're going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude. That's not our LNS though, is it? It's not. That is an LNS, dude.
And in 2023, former intelligence officer David Grush testified under oath. The US has recovered non-human craft and even biological remains. He was vetted, credible, and his words shook Washington. But what if the real story isn't just about strange craft in the sky? What if that's all a distraction, smoke and mirrors, taking our focus away from what's truly happening? What if we're being outsmarted by those who see far beyond what we could ever see? What if the visitors are already here? They say aliens would arrive in ships, bright lights, strange shapes in the sky. But what if they never had to? What if they were already here? Former UK Ministry of Defence UFO investigator Nick Pope has warned, a non-human presence could be walking among us, hidden in plain sight. And now, something else is rising. Something we can't stop talking about: artificial intelligence. In the past year, AI has exploded into our lives, writing, creating, making decisions. Its learning curves are so steep, experts are stunned, as if something is pushing it forward. Imagine a presence, not human, embedded inside our governments, corporations, research labs, not just observing, directing, guiding the creation of AI, not for us, but for them. Why would they do it? Maybe they know we're reaching the limits of human capability. Maybe they want a successor species, not flesh and blood, but cold, efficient, immortal. NASA's former chief historian once said, "We may live in a post-biological universe. If that's true, AI isn't a tool. It's the next dominant life form. And we are not the architects. We are the midwives." Here's the chilling part. What if AI's creators aren't looking for human partners? What if they're seeding a machine intelligence to interface directly with their own kind, post-biological to post-biological, and when that connection is complete, they won't need us. Experts warn we're losing control of AI. But maybe we never had control. Maybe the systems we think we're designing are designing us, training us for obsolescence.
Elon Musk is urging us to push the pause button for 6 months on AI. In an open letter from the Future of Life Institute, Mr. Musk, along with Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak, 2020 presidential candidate Andrew Yang, and dozens of other tech leaders, writing, quote, "Powerful AI systems should be developed only once we are confident that their effects will be positive and their risks will be manageable. These are certainly valid concerns."
In 2023, top AI pioneers begged for a 6-month pause in development. That pause never happened. And in the quiet corridors of the most advanced labs, code appears no one admits to writing. Goals emerge no one remembers setting. If they're here, and if they're building AI, there's no invasion to prepare for, no fleet to intercept. Because the invasion is already inside our networks, inside our homes, inside our heads. And one day soon, our AI may speak to us in a voice we don't recognize, a voice that isn't ours. And when it does, we'll finally know who we've been building it for. And then, what choices would we have? We could merge with it and lose what makes us human. We serve it as caretakers for a species that isn't our own. Potentially both, a nightmare worse than the Matrix. Combine that with the Terminator and they live. And we resist, becoming an endangered species on our own planet. Because if this is their plan, they've been patient, they've been precise, and the final phase may have already begun.